So the Duchess of Cornwall, she appeared to poke at the so-called woke brigade while attending a lunch on Monday to celebrate her 75th birthday, and she began her speech with this joke.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I'm allowed to call it that.
So the joke, which is heard there, drew laughter from those attending. It was described as being in the keeping with the irreverent spirit of the lunch by Clarence House. Now, is this the type of behaviour we want to see from our royal family? Well, here to tell us more is the royal commentator Angela Levin, and we've also got Joanne Nadler there in the studio. Angela, you're writing a book on the Duchess of Cornwall. Is this sort of thing, this banter, is this what she's like?
Yeah, it's a biography of her, which will be out in the autumn. Yes, she usually cracks a joke at the beginning of any occasion to sort of break the ice. Very much, it's about the only thing she probably has in common with Harry at the moment, is Harry did that too. It always do some sort of funny thing, often self-deprecating, to make people laugh. I remember going with her once to a rape centre, which obviously wasn't going to be easy, and the girls weren't interested in her initially at all. They were all obviously very damaged. And she climbed through a back window so that nobody would know she was there. And at the time, she said, there was a minister there, a home minister, and she was much, much taller than her. And she looked at her and she looked at the young ladies and she said, "Do you think I should go on tiptoe or climb on a stool?" And they all collapsed with laughter. So she broke a very tense time by sort of self-deprecating. She did it again when she invited a lot of show business people round to Clarence House, where she lives, her London home, where she lives with Prince Charles. And she introduced the actress who was playing her in The Crown as her, to call her a fictional alter ego. So it didn't matter if she dropped off the plot because she would take over from her. And this woman had portrayed Camilla as being really quite nasty. But there again, it was her, don't show any nasty signs, welcome people. And the whole room collapsed with laughter. So this is a habit rather than actually being aggressive about Wokism or anything else.
Yes. Joanne, on that point, on the wokeism point, am I reading too much into this? Because actually that is how a lot of my viewers feel, right? That they can't actually say something like ladies and gentlemen these days, that we are getting into the territory of wackery and wokery being quite pervasive in all of our lives. Has Camilla tapped into that, or am I reading too much into this?
Well, I think what she showed was a real nice sort of lightness of touch. And the way she handled it was the way that I think a lot of people would handle it in a similar situation. But I think what I would say is I think people should just say it. Say, ladies and gentlemen, say men and women, and don't be apologetic about it. So to the extent that she began to be slightly apologetic about it, even in a jokey sort of way, she was inadvertently, I think, pandering to this sort of spread of this gender ideology. So just get on and do it and say it. And don't give in to the intimidation.
Angela, do you think Her Majesty the Queen would have found that joke funny?
I expect she would, actually. The Queen has a very, very good sense of humour. And she and Camilla laugh a great deal together. And during the pandemic, they used to Zoom to each other and make each other laugh. I think the Queen has, but she doesn't show it necessarily in the same way. But she would have found it hilarious, I'm quite sure.
And how much did this remind you of, as I say, the late and great Duke of Edinburgh?
I think that's spot on. But she has, he is her role model and he thinks very highly of him. And she just said the other day that she wants to follow the way he was looking after the Queen. She would want to follow the way looking after Prince Charles. And the thing was to look up, look out, speak less and get on with doing the job. And that, of course, is exactly what Prince Philip did. And this is what she wants to do too. No messing about, getting on with it.
Joanne, do you worry? Some people on the internet who say they're literally shaking over this and all of this ridiculous hyperbole. Do you actually think that
are they literally shaking?
Literally shaking, yeah. The word literally is used, well, ironically, not literally, but there we are. Now, I'm wondering, do you actually think the royal family making these sort of jokes, is that at risk of politicisation, as these people would argue indeed?
Well, I mean, I return to my first point in a way. I think it should just be said in a very naturalistic way. It shouldn't be then referred to as being anything extraordinary or untoward. We've been in the grip of something of an ideological push from the social justice warriors. And I think we shouldn't always pander to it or concede it. We should just live our lives, our free lives, all equal before the law in this country. And that is the way, perhaps, through this dilemma. I think that she did the right thing in those circumstances, but in future she should just say it and not apologise for it.